say the battle's over, say you're standing all alone. I see the war around me, but I know I'm not alone. Yeah, there's an army you can't see,
operating in the unseen.
Got a host of heaven moving, intervening in between. Hey, yeah, hey. I've been through the valley, walking shadow of the grave. Seen the wolves circle around me like they trying to enslave. But something turned the tide, something shifted in the air. Every time I called his name, something met me there. I grew up in the trenches where the bullets fly at night, where your homies fall like dominoes and nothing feel right. I was marked for early exit, they had written off my name. But the God who spoke the cosmos into being and acclaimed, he gave orders to the angels. Every step I take, they guard. They protecting my direction, every mile, every yard. I can't see them with these eyes, but I feel them in my spirit. When the enemy gets close, man, I know they always near it. So I walk into the fire with a different kind of calm. Not cause I ain't scared, I'm human, I still carry on. Because I know the commander of the armies of the Lord gave his word, and that word cut sharper than a sword.
Angel army,
standing at attention, operating in the spaces that we never even mentioned. You can't see them, but they're there. It's the promise from the word. God commanded their deployment, and his orders will be heard. Yeah.
angel army,
Guarding every road I walk, every alley, every rooftop, every bridge and every block. So I move with no apology, I step without the fear. Cause the host of heaven's with me, the invisible is here. Yeah. Let me tell you about the times I should've never made it out. Car flipped on the highway, not a scratch to talk about. Should've been a statistic, should've been a headline name. Something turned that vehicle, that ain't random, that's his name. I remember nights I'm broken, on my knees without a prayer. Felt the weight of every failure, felt like nobody there. But the room was full of presence, something I cannot explain. Like a hand was on my shoulder saying, son, I know your pain. That's the covenant of Psalm 91, it ain't metaphor. It's a legal declaration, signing blood is spiritual law. For the ones who make the highest God their dwelling in their place. There's an unseen mobilization, call it activated grace. So I rap this for the soldier who been fighting on his own. For the mother in the season every night beside the phone. For the kid who thinks that God forgot his name inside the storm. The angel army never rested, they were guarding you all alone. Standing at attention, operating in the spaces that we never even mentioned. You can't see them, but they there. It's the promise from the word. God commanded their deployment, and his orders will be heard.
angel army,
Guarding every road I walk, every alley, every rooftop, every bridge and every block. So I move with no apology, I step without the fear. Cause the host of heaven's with me, the invisible is here. I don't need a world to validate the ground I'm standing on. They can't see the reinforcement that's been here all along. You can count me out, you can write me off, say my error's done. But the war already finished, it was won by God's own son. So the army isn't wishful thinking, isn't poetry. It's the practical reality of sovereignty. Every demon had to reckon with the risen king's decree. What he put in place for me, no weapon formed shall be. And when they lay me down and say this rapper finally rests, I know every step I took, he covered east to west. It wasn't luck, it wasn't grind, it wasn't talent on my own. It was grace deployed in secret, it was angels bringing me home. So to every soul who's listening in the dark tonight, feeling outnumbered, outgunned, losing sight, you are not forgotten, you are not outsiders. Reach the angel army's been commanded, and they guard you while you sleeping. His word don't come back empty, his promise ain't a poem. The God who made the heavens is the God who's bringing you home. Bringing you home. Bringing you home. Oh no. They said lie low, keep quiet, don't make a sound. But I read the word and I know whose I am now. Yeah. You put me here with authority in my hands. I don't bow to fear, I was built to stand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I grew up where the serpents walk the block at night, where the darkness got a face and it's looking for a fight, where they dress up lies in gold chains and designer shoes. And the enemy been whispering since the day you chose. I ain't running, nah, I never been the type to fold. Even when the pressure high and the night is cold, every trap they said I see it before I reach the door. Psalm 91 tattooed in my spirit's core. Lions in the system trying to swallow me alive. Cobras in the courtroom saying I won't survive. But I walk with one who crushed the head before the fall. So the serpent at my feet ain't gonna shake me at all.
Serpent and stone, I tread on both.
Every chain gotta break when I speak it out loud.
This ain't pride, it's a promise on the throne.
He gave me authority, I'm walking it out.
Serpent and stone, I tread on both.
Lion on the left, yeah, cobra on the right, yeah. I don't move in fear, this is
Holy ground.
His word is my weapon and I'm ready to fight. They told me faith is for the weak and the broken down, for people who ain't made it, never held their own ground. But David was a warrior with a song in his chest, and Paul was writing anthems from inside a cell fest. I carry wounds that I ain't hiding from the scars, but every scar's a testimony of how far grace reached down in the pit when I was losing breath, and pulled me back before I stared into my death. Now I walk through dark valleys with my head up straight, not cause I'm fearless, cause I know my faith. Every mountain in my path is just a stone to tread. He rose from the grave, so I ain't fearing what he said. I used to run from every battle, used to hide my name, used to shrink inside the shadows just to ease the pain. But hiding is a prison built from lies and shame, and God didn't save me just to keep me tame. So I rise, not in my own name, not in my own strength, but in the one who walked through death and came back again. Every enemy that rises, every voice that said I'm done, watch me tread on you in the name of the Holy One.
Tread on both.
Every chain gotta break when I speak it out loud.
This ain't pride, it's a promise on the throne.
He gave me authority, I'm walking it out.
I tread on both.
Lion on the left, cobra on the right. I don't move in fear, this is
Holy ground.
His word is my weapon and I'm ready to fight. So if the night comes heavy and the weight feels real, if the serpent's at your door and you've lost the will, remember who you are, remember who you are. He said his love on you before you got this far. You were never just surviving, you were built to reign. Every stone beneath your foot he already claimed. So stand up, lift your head, let the enemy know the one who dwells in you is greater than below. Serpent and I tread on. This promise holds, this promise holds.
They label you by zip code, by your blog, by your face, by your record, by your failure, by the sins you can't erase. But before the world could name you, there was one who knew your place. He called you out the darkness, set your feet on solid grace.
He knows my name,
Not my number, not my
he
page.
know my name.
Build a lot that's gonna last.
When the world writes me off, he writes me in a book. He knows my name.
Go ahead and take a look. Hey, grew up where the street lights was the only light we had. Every cousin had a record and a missing or a dead dad. I was searching for the identity and everything that's bad. Gold chains and the fame game, thought that's all I had. But I heard a voice cut through the noise of all the static. Not a preacher on the corner, something deeper, something magic. Like a shepherd calling sheep who strayed too far from the pasture. He didn't call me inmate, didn't call me disaster. He said, son, I know your story, every chapter, every scar. Before your mama named you, I had numbered every star. You're not defined by what you've done or how they see you from afar. I told you in the darkness I would be a morning star.
He knows my name,
Not my number, not my pay.
You know my name.
Build a love that's gonna last.
When the world writes me off, he writes me in the book, he knows my name.
Go ahead and take a look. See, identity's a war that they've been fighting on the timeline. Who you are depends on follow what you wear and what you drive fine. I've been guilty too, I let the culture be my shrine. Chasing validation from the people who don't know me and it's blind. But Psalm 91 say he said his love home specifically. Not a general announcement, he addressed me individually. I was Jacob at the river fighting God so desperately. Let me win the wrestle just to give me my identity. I walk into the room and I don't need him to applaud. My worth is settled in the heavens by the covenant of God. You can strip the accolades of platinum and the squad. Still standing when the smoke clears cause my name is on his heart.
I am not what they call me. I am not what I did. I am not the worst version of the life that I lived. I am covered, I am chosen. I am held by his hand. In the shadow of the Almighty, that's exactly where I stand.
So let me close this with the truth that took me years to believe. Every time you try to label me, you couldn't make it stick to me. Cause there's a name already written that no man can never see. Written in the Lamb's own book before I ever learned to breathe. To every soul that listening was searching in the wrong place. Chasing love from people who can barely show up to your face. There is one who never leaves and one who holds you in the race. He delivered me because he loved me, that's the word, that's the case. So I lift my hands not cause my life is always right. I lift them cause he rescued me from permanent midnight. From the trap, from the shame, from the bottle and the fight. He knew me in the darkness and he called me to the light.
You are not your worst moment. You are not what the system called you. You are not forgotten. He knew your name before the foundation of the world. And he's calling you home.
Because he loves me, I will rescue him.
Psalm 91:14.
How many times did you cry out and thought the ceiling was all that hurt you? How many times did silence feel like rejection? This one is for everyone who's still waiting on an answer.
I called out.
From the bottom of a broken now.
He heard every word, he heard every shout. I called out.
When the faith was running thin,
He was already there before you began. I called out.
with a voice that barely made a sound.
He reached into the dark and brought you out the ground. I called.
He answered,
I called.
he answered. Let me take it back to the night I couldn't breathe right. 3 in the morning, no sleep, just still in the street lights. Demons on the doorstep, regret was playing on repeat. The weight of every failure had me down on both my knees. I wasn't doing the spiritual pose for the gram. I was desperate, broken, trying to understand if God was even real or if it was a fairy tale. Crutch for the weak, a check at the end of the trail. So I spoke, not a prayer, more like a scream. Told him everything I buried in the in-between. The anger, the abandonment, the father who left. The nights I was so numb, I couldn't even feel the death and something shifted. I can't explain it in a verse, like the pressure in the room just started going in reverse. No angels appeared, no thunder cracked the sky, but something in me knew he heard me when I cried.
I called out.
From the bottom of a broken house,
He heard every shout. I called out.
when the fade was running thin,
He was already there before you began. I called out.
with a voice that barely made a sound.
He reached into the dark and brought you out the ground. I called.
He answered,
I called.
he answered. Now let me flip the script cause I know someone out here been calling for so long the silence turned to fear. You think unanswered means he isn't paying attention, but maybe the silence is part of the lesson. David wrote Psalm 22 before he wrote Psalm 91. Had to go through the wire of you forsaken before the shelter come. The valley is the corridor that leads you to the promise. You can't skip the process just to get to the accomplishment. I've seen provision show up in the most unusual ways. Jobs appear, relationships heal, minds find better days. Not cause we deserve it or performed enough to earn it, but grace is what it is. You can't reduce it or determine it. So when your voice is raw and your knees are worn to the bone, and you feel like every prayer just bounces back like a stone, keep calling not because you got the perfect theology, but because he said he answers and that word's a guarantee.
He's not a vending machine. He's a father who sees.
He's not a
Cosmic force.
he's personal, he knows your needs.
He's what before you call.
He was writing the reply.
walking now.
He heard every word, he heard every shout. I called out
when the faith was running thin.
He was already there before you began. I called out
with a voice that barely made a sound.
He reached into the dark and brought you off the ground. I called,
he answered.
I called,
he answered.
If you're in that place right now, where the words won't come, where the faith feels like a memory, just know the promise in Psalm 91 wasn't written for the strong. It was written for the one who was barely holding on. He shall call on me, and I will answer him. Not might, not maybe will. That's the word, that's the anchor. You called, he heard, the answer is already on its way.
Look, I've been running through valleys, through smoke and through fire. Through nights I thought morning was never coming higher. But here I stand, breath in my chest, name still known. Psalm 91:16, I'm not dying alone. Long life, you promised me long life. Through every storm and every fight, I survived the night. Long life, but more than just the years. He showed me his salvation, washed away the tears. Long life, long life. I used to count the days like they were running out, living in survival mode with nothing but doubt. Seen homies fall, seen families break at the seams. Felt the weight of a world that was crushing my dreams. But the word said he satisfied me, fill me up whole. Not just breath in my lungs, but a purpose in my soul. Every scar on my back tells a story of grace. Every time I went under, he still covered my face. Caught on him from the pit, walls closing in tight. He answered in the darkness, turned the valley to light. That ain't luck, that ain't chance, that's a covenant seal. What the world tried to steal, God decided to heal. Long life, promise me long life. Through every storm and every fight, I survived the night. Long life, and more than just the years. He showed me his salvation, washed away the tears. Long life, long life, long life. Every trial I complained about, he was already there. The angel standing guard when the bullet went wide. The voice saying stay home on the night 3 men died. I said my love on him, he said he set me free. Didn't know what that meant until the chains fell off me. Satisfaction ain't a number, ain't a figure or a frame. It's waking up and knowing that he still speaks your name. My daddy never made it past 42 years. I carry his memory now, but I ain't bound by his fears. Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the grave. And long life ain't about age, it's about what he gave. It's not the years in your life, it's the life in your years. Yeah, not the smile on your face when it's hiding your tears. It's the peace in the storm when the thunder isn't near. He showed me salvation, and now I have no fear. Long life, he promised me long life. Through every storm and every fight, I survived the night. Long life, and more than just the years. He showed me his salvation, washed away the tears. Long life, long life. I don't fear the grave no more. I've been looking at it wrong. Every breath I'm breathing now is a verse in a longer song. He satisfied me, not with things, not with a crown of gold, but with the face of salvation, glory filling my soul. So if you hear this and you're tired, if the night feels too long, he still answers when you call. That's the truth, that's a song. Psalm 91:16. He will satisfy him with long life and show him my salvation. That's a promise. That's the word. That's enough.